So the first thing that I always say when we're adding with decimals is to just forget the decimal point altogether. So if we just take that decimal point out and we just look at our numbers, in this example, we're multiplying 425 by 159. So when I set my problem up, I line them up on the right side like I would do with whole numbers, and I just ignore that decimal point. We're gonna add that back in at the end, but while we're working on our problem, it's just gonna get in the way. So this is how I would set my problem up. I've got everything lined up on the right-hand side as if they were just whole numbers. Now when we're multiplying and we're using the standard algorithm, we work with one number at a time. So I'm gonna start working with this 9, and I'm gonna multiply this 9 by the 5, the 2, and the 4. So I'm gonna start with 9 times 5. I know 9 times 5 is 45, and because my 9 is in the ones place, I wanna put that 45 in the ones place. So now I have 9 times 2, and I know 9 times 2 is 18, but I have 4 more, so 19, 20, 21, 22. So I put my 2 here in the ones place, and then my 2 in the tens place this time goes above my 4. So there's my 2, 22. Now I have 9 times 4. Now 9 times 4 is 36, plus 2 is 38. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my 8 here, and I would put the 3 up here, but you can see there's nothing there, so I'm just gonna bring it down. So that's the first part of my problem. I'm not done yet because I still have 2 more numbers that I have to multiply everything by. So that was my 9. The next one I'm working with is gonna be my 5. So now I have to take that 5 and I have to multiply it by 5, 2, and 4. But remember that this 5 is in the tens place, so I'm gonna put a 0 here, and I'm gonna start working in my tens place now. So 5 times 5 is 25. My 5 in the ones place goes here, the 2 goes above the 2, because remember it's 5 times 5, so it goes here, 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more, 11, 12. So the 2 and 12 goes here, and my 1 goes above the next one now, which is my 4. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 more is 21. So now we've done the 9, the 5. We still have 1 more number left to work with, and that's our 1. The 1 is in the hundreds place, so I'm going to put 2 zeros so that I'm working with my hundreds place now. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 4 is 4. So now I'm ready to add these numbers together. 5 plus 0 equals 5. 5 plus 2 equals 7. 5 plus 8 plus 2, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's 5, carry the 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 4 plus 2 equals 6. So now I've got a final answer, but I'm not done yet because remember how I said to ignore the decimal point until the end? Well, we're at the end, it's time to add that decimal point back in. So if you remember, my original numbers were 4.25 and 1.59. So I'm going to count the number of digits I have in the decimal place of both my factors. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how many places I need to have after my decimal in my final answer. So I'm going to start on this right side and count 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is where my decimal point goes, which makes my answer 6.7575. Now, if we were dealing with money, remember that you can't have 75 cents. It doesn't make any sense, right? So we want to round. So I want to round to my nearest hundredth because when we're dealing with money, we only go to the hundredths place. So if my next number is higher than 5, that means I round up. So that 5 becomes a 6. So that would be 6 and 76 hundredths, or $6.76.